Hello and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing the GROTTI cars tier list, which is the GTA version of the Ferrari/Fiat brand, where we rank all the GROTTI vehicles from S tier being the best down to F tier being the worst. Let's begin. Okay, so starting with the first and only F tier vehicle, we have the GROTTI Brioso 300 based on the real-life 1970 Fiat 500. This car is the slowest GROTTI vehicle with a top speed of 96 miles per hour, and when we compare it to other compacts, it's also the slowest. With the price of $600K, you would expect it to perform better. However, I do personally own this because I am the GTA car guy and I really like this car. But it's pretty useless. Now moving into the D tier, our first vehicle, and this is not in any particular order, we have the GROTTI Stinger based on the Ferrari 250 GT California Spider. This car has a top speed of 112 miles per hour and costs $850K. It's one of the slowest sports classics in the game, and the best thing about this car is the way it sounds. Next we have its brother, the Stinger GT, which is basically the same car. The only difference is that the GT is slightly better on track and costs $25K extra. The last car in D tier is the GROTTI GT 500 based on the Ferrari 250 GT SWB. Now I think this is a really good looking car. It kind of reminds me of the Shelby. The reason why I put it in D tier is because of its stats. It has a top speed of 110 miles per hour, which is slower than both Stingers. However, it's a better track car and costs around $800K. In my opinion, not good enough to compete with the cars in C tier. Now moving to the C tier, the first car is the GROTTI Bestia GTS based on the Ferrari FF. This car has a top speed of 118 miles per hour and costs around $600K. This car is a lot better than all the cars in D and F tiers, but it's still not even close to competing with the rest of the GROTTI cars and even the sports cars. However, I really liked the look of this car. It's quite a unique looking sports car. The next car in C tier is the GROTTI Carbonazar based on the V12 Zagato rear and the Ferrari 458 Italia. This car has been in the game since the release back in 2013, so it definitely looks outdated. However, it has a top speed of 120 miles per hour, but it only costs $195K, which is insane. You can literally complete the HSW time trial in like 3 minutes and you have more than enough to buy this car. Overall, a great and cheap car. The third car in C tier is the GROTTI Cheetah based on the Spagna GTA Spano and Ferrari Enzo. This car is another OG that has been in the game since 2013. This car has a top speed of 120 miles per hour and costs $650K. Pretty much has the same stats as the previous, but costs a lot more because this is a supercar. Now the last car in C tier is one of the newer GROTTI vehicles. It's the Furia based on the Ferrari SF90 Stradale. The reason this car is in C tier is because it costs $2.7 million, which is one of the most expensive supercars, and that only gives you 122 miles per hour. This is only 2 miles per hour more than the Cheetah, but costs an extra $2 million. However, it does look really good, so if you have the cash and you're not looking for a racing car, then why not buy it? Moving into B tier, the first car is the Cheetah Classic based on the Ferrari Testarossa. This car has a top speed of 120 miles per hour and costs $865K. Now the reason why I put it in B tier is because this is the second best car for racing in the sports classic category and costs less than $1 million. And of course it also looks amazing. The next car in B tier is the Turismo R based on the LaFerrari. This car has a top speed of 122 miles per hour and costs $500K. This car could easily be in C tier, however, when comparing it to the Furia and the Cheetah. This car is just more worth it for the price. Even though this car was released in 2014, it beats cars like the Entity MT that cost over $2 million around a track. I think this is one of the most underrated supercars in the game. The third car in B tier is the X80 Proto based on the Ferrari F80 concept. This car has a top speed of 127 miles per hour and costs $2.7 million, and the reason why it's in B tier is because it has the same track time as the Turismo R. I would have put it lower, but this car looks insane. The fourth and final car in B tier is the GROTTI Vision based on the Ferrari Zesri concept. This car has a top speed 125 miles per hour and costs $2.2 million. This car has pretty much the same stats as the X80 and is a little more cheaper. Now moving into a tier, we only have two cars, and the first car is the GROTTI Brioso R8 based on the Fiat 500 Abarth. This car has a top speed of 125 miles per hour when fully upgraded with HSW, making it the fastest compact car in the game. And it only costs $155K. A bargain. The other car in a tier is the Italy RSX based on the Ferrari SF90 Stradale. This car is probably the best looking GROTTI vehicle in the whole game and has a top speed of 135 miles per hour, making it the second fastest sports car in the game. The reason why it's not an S tier is because it costs $3.4 million, which is so stupid. This car literally costs more than every single supercar. And finally, we're at the S tier, and there are only two cars here. The first one is the Italy GTO based on the Ferrari 812 Superfast. This car does have a lower top speed than the RSX, which is 127 miles per hour, however it also costs a lot less at $2 million. But the main reason why it's at S tier is because this is the best sports car for racing in the whole game. And finally, the last car in the tier list, and my personally favorite GROTTI vehicle. It's the GROTTI Turismo Classic based on the Ferrari F40. One of the most iconic cars in the world. This car has a top speed of 150 miles per hour, making it the 3ND fastest car in the whole game. And for the crazy price of $700K. If you currently don't own this car, you need to purchase this car ASAP. If you have made it this far, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, make sure you like and subscribe, and also let me know what other tier list you would like to see in the future. And as always, I will see you next time. Peace.